All right, we're back maybe. Let's see, it looks like it's working. I have no idea what happened, but we're trying to run 9 miles. And that's a very unpleasant bump in the road. And let me pop you on my head, I know it's dark. Anyway. But we're running towards the sunset, so we got that going for us. Having a great conversation with Power Slays. But never mind. Hey! 0.96 miles. 0.96 miles, you know what that is? That's more than 0. How's that for motivation? We've run more than 0 miles before we even get out to 5 a.m. That's a good start. Very good start. Crap, it's wet. Crap. Crap, 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 crap. I don't want wet socks if avoidable. Just not today. You know what? Just not ever. How about we just don't ever have wet socks? Good. So we're a mile in. I'll see if the live's going again. And maybe our data's just gonna be a little bit hateful. And that's okay. It happens. Oh, these puddles. These puddles taunt us. Dry, y'all. I think it worked. I think we're here. So, one of the things I'm focusing on right now, besides my abundant lack of desire not to be doing this, is posture and form. Holding my core taut. Trying to pull as much of the impact out as I can. Breathing. Keeping my core taut. Keeping my range of motion somewhat symmetric. Keeping my legs under me, because if we're going 9 miles today, we gotta run all the way up to that frickin' bridge, across to that city, all the way back along the river to there, and then run it up. So it's like I can literally see the distance that needs traversing. Yeah, there's all this positive mindset crap about, crap's a loaded word. Everything just feels like crap when you're running. But it talks about like the importance of visualizing success. Imagine that future state, you know? Imagining them raising your arm because you won and handing you the medal, as opposed to visualizing every punch you took but still got up and won. Right? That's how this visualization feels like. Let me look at all the hits that are coming along this path. Holy crap. Oh my God. And let's just keep plunking along forward. It's like, what? But that's so hard. Yeah, I know. It's supposed to be hard. Visualizing them raising my arm in victory is like me getting to my bicycle to get my butt back home. Exhausted, sore legs, wheezing, and be like, oh, let me pedal home so I can feed my kids, take them all to school, and do 9 straight hours of content creation to batch edit for the whole week. There's nothing glamorous or shiny about that. It's like, let's just visualize the work, I guess. I don't know, after all the years of training, running, growing, I've lost the ability to lie to myself and pretend in order to progress. I have to work out in complete honesty. Like right now, if I'm honest, there are many aspects of my gait that are concerning. Different areas that feel out of balance. A couple things are kind of twerking or over rotated. Core's not fully locked in. Cardio's not fully there. You know, I'm running in new shorts, so that, and it's really like hot, muggy out, and moist from the typhoon. So I'm like just anticipating the pain of chafe. Like the chafe will come, but I'm not at all sure where it will manifest. It's like all these real honest thoughts drive me towards this mindset, like, what the frick are we doing? Why are we doing this? Surely this will suck the whole time. Yes, Joe. Yes, it does. And then I remember my t-shirt. It's fun when it's done. There's no promise of fun while you're doing it. Otherwise, everyone would be doing it because it's fun. Building off our conversation on the first live video. Sitting around eating potato chips and chocolate like I did yesterday. Abundantly more fun. As opposed to living in the perpetual dread of what's mile 3 gonna feel like? What's mile 4 gonna feel like? Can we make it to mile 4.5? Will we actually push ourselves that far? What's mile 5 gonna feel like? How about mile 6? Mile 7? Mile 8? Mile 9? Each of those miles is like 14 freaking minutes. It's like a 2-hour, 15-minute show, okay? That's what I put on for you. Welcome to a show. Let's breathe. Let's regain form. At least we get big morning puffy clouds. That's fun. It's our silver lining, which is funny because, you know, it perfectly frames that bridge we love and hate so much, because we got to run all the way to the bridge all the way up it, all the way over it, all the way away from it to the city and down the river, back up the river, back to the city, all the way up the bridge, all the way over the bridge, and all the way away from the bridge home. Frick. Whew. I'm gonna put my headspace at we're rocking like a 20% here. Not very good, but we are approaching our 2 mile mark. So I guess we can give ourselves a gold star for that, right? Hey, every mile, every step is worth celebrating, I guess. I'm gonna hit a gooey packet at mile 2. We'll pretend it's a treat, which is funny because them packets, they're disgusting. Funny, of all the goals I could have, you know, run a certain pace, run X amount of distance, yeah, be consistent, all the good things we could set as a goal, have a positive mindset. That ain't happening today. The goal we have, it's really more of an aversion. It's like, pay attention, don't get wet socks. No puddles today. No puddles today. No squishy, sad, wet socks. And I say all that, and then those beautiful puffy clouds will blow in and drown me. We'll be like turning the corner at 4.5 miles like, oh my God, what have we chosen to do? This is so hard. I can't go on anymore. I don't know if we're gonna make it all the way back. And then rain, and then wet socks, and then cab. We just straight to cab. Actually, cab's not an option today because my credit card got stolen digitally. So the one in my phone case, it's void, doesn't work. Someone was racking up expenses at Walmart and Jack in the Box. Whew. Come on now. Come on. Whew. Time for our gooey packet. Let's see if we could do this. I hate these things. Every time, every single time. I take them anyway. It's just like cream cheese frosting, but it's hot. Gross. Oh, puddle. Jump. No wet socks. Hey, we got 3 people hanging out. Oh, you've made a terrible mistake. If you came here for a positive mindset and encouragement, that is not where my headspace is today. It is a run of complaining, whining, for the love of God, keeping our socks dry. But hey friends, we're about to ingest this disgusting packet of chemicals. Oh no! No! Off the ground now. 5-second rule. It's funny, I tell them they made a terrible mistake. Immediately viewership drops from 3 to 2. Yep, scared one off. Good. Alright. See if we can eat this thing while we run. Actually, I'm feeling some impact, so I'm gonna speed walk. I'm gonna stride it longer so I keep the cardio. Recover breathing, eat this nasty thing, and then snap back in. But congrats on the first 2 miles, everybody. Oh joy. Why are we here? Friends, I can't seem to find a Y today, even though it is freaking gorgeous at 4, what is it? Oh my gosh, we crossed the 5 a.m. threshold. Fantastic. We woke up at 3:40 to experience this. Whatever this is, this mix of joy and hell. Let's keep eating this thing. We'll try to walk a little faster. Ugh. Caramel. I feel like this brand, Goo, they should sponsor me. And we'll do one of those ad campaigns that doesn't make sense but people buy. Where it's this big 300-pound man trying to run farther distances than he should. That's absolutely disgusted by these packets, but he eats them anyway so he can go the distance. Because I guarantee the majority of people don't buy these things for taste, okay? Even though I'm sure there's a ton of food scientists at Goo optimizing the formula for both, you know, function and pleasure. Right? Ooh, a bat. So thank you, food scientists, for whatever compounds you put in there. All right, we're gonna do 3 deadlifts. No, not yet. We're gonna let this fast person cross us first, and then we're gonna jump back into it. Yeah, let's do 3 deadlifts. There's a lot wrong with my form and balance. Problem is I did single leg deadlifts on Saturday, but I lost form on them a little bit. All right. Yep. Let's jump back in. Kind of timid. There's some runoff here, so I'm a little apprehensive of slips. Slips, trips, and falls, right? So let's get back into it. Let's breathe. Let's re-lock in, because that little pause told me, why don't we completely stop? I love this mud. This is a bad day, man. But the river's running high. So one of the things I'm focusing on right now is engaging my core. A slight, gentle forward lean. Keeping my feet under or behind me. And trying to get like a little bit of float, like a gentle kind of bounciness, and re-lock in. Starting and stopping, by the way, is totally possible on a long distance run. I used to get in my head that if I took any breaks, any pauses, any walks, then it's too hard to re-lock in and re-engage. And there's a truthiness to that. It will always be more comfortable to walk instead of run. That's a reality for sure. But it doesn't mean you can't snap back in to something that's uncomfortable. and in some sense have recovered something, whether you've recovered literally your sense of windedness, like your ability to breathe, recovered your mindset, recovered your hydration. Here's a big one, like recovered your form. Like you literally are just better off from a form perspective, because you pause and you're like, oh, I've been running twisted and I shouldn't do that. Let me fix it. One of the things we're still figuring out, we do foam rolling on Sundays before this, and I go back and forth about whether or not it's a good practice for me. I think I'm tending to over roll, which is hyper mobilizing certain things, which gacks my form. You know what it is? We're leaking a lot of fluid right now. We're very moist, which is strange because it's actually not outlandishly hot right now, but definitely dehydrated. Our water's over there, so let's get to it. Let's get up and over it. Come on, y'all. So a lot of times a pause for water or to walk, it can be a good thing if you can then snap through, maybe break through the inertia of comfort. Because this, even though my form at this point, it's pretty safe, my pace is mellow enough, it's still labored. It's still a challenging choice. Like every step is like pulling my legs through quicksand. So I think if you can pause but then break through that inertia of comfort, it's fine. But that's like a mental muscle that needs to be developed and refined. In my first half marathon training program, one second, I put a GoPro on my head. I did about 70 runs, 65 runs, maybe just 55 runs, 55 lifts. Recorded the whole journey, end to end, edited it, posted it, so anyone could do a half marathon. But when I first started increasing distance, well, it was the first time I'd ever really put a GoPro on my head and tried running and talking. Running and coaching, I didn't have any breathing control, and I had this mindset that if I lost pace, quote unquote, fell off the wagon, there's no way to get back onto it. And my runs started getting messy during the program, but I realized for a lot of people training for their first half marathon, that's an encouragement. Like for them to see a larger guy try to do something good for himself and struggle gave them the courage they needed to do something hard and struggle and see where the journey could take them. And I also, like, the capstone of that program was I ran a mock version of a half marathon with the running club. So this running club ran the Tokyo Legacy half marathon course, but just during a normal Sunday afternoon with traffic and everything. But the way they ran it, it was meant to be more of a exploration, a communal exploration of the course. And the guide talked through, you know, how to pace yourself through it, different techniques, different challenges. We stopped at like every kombini to rehydrate and use the bathroom, and they ran it at the slowest pace, which was me. So it was pretty cool. I filmed the whole thing. It was neat for me to see, oh, I could literally stop every mile and restart. And that was pretty wild, honestly. We want dry shoes. What's the dry shoe path? Don't slip, don't fall on your butt. Dry shoes. Dry socks. Alright, friends, let me tell you, holding pace right now, super challenging. Also, having a willingness to stretch it any farther than this right now, super challenging. Like, cognitively, emotionally, I just don't want to keep going. I got so much noise in my head saying, hey, you really ought to turn around right now. You got too much left to do. And in reality, friends, if I'm doing 9 miles, this is 3 miles right here. This is 1/3 complete, which means I have to repeat what I just did and tack on 1.5 miles that way, which means 1.5 miles back to here. So at any point in a run, the first mile, second mile, 1/3 of the way in, half, 3/4, there's always gonna be some mindset challenges, some obstacles that you gotta progress through, some pressures you're feeling, some insecurities. All of this is perfectly normal. Doesn't make it easy. We're gonna get water. Does not make it easy. We're gonna slow down, breathe, come to a full stop for a minute, which I don't always advise, but we gotta get our mindset back. I would also normally not encourage pounding, oh frick, a ton of water. But I just sense like I need it. Squishy and wet. Don't get wet socks. All right, so we have some sore points. Our cardio's drifting. Our mindset sucks, which is okay. We're just being honest here. So we're gonna walk to that box. I'm gonna try periodically to do a couple deadlifts just to recalibrate form. Get my arms rolled back. Try to walk heel to toe and pull through. How guess I was. Bro over there, 75 years old, running with perfect form. My guy. Let's keep going. So we're going to incorporate a little bit of cardio recovery right now. I don't know what it is. Headspace, things that were sore yesterday, things that are sore today. There's a dissonance between them. There's a fear, insecurity, all the crap is blocking us and telling us we can't add more distance to this workout and we can't return all the way back, which arguably both of those aren't true. We're having some hip challenges, but it's nothing we haven't experienced before. I'm gonna do a couple high knees just to kind of pull on the hip flexor. So I'm gonna slow down my pace. High knee, 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 high knee. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Deadlift. So we're kind of recalibrating some of my movements. Now that some things are loose, holding my core taut, leaning forward. I want to run, but I'm still feeling gassed. So I'm gonna keep going at this pace. And again, all of this is a combination of conversation between mindset and body. And the conversation is always different on a given day. On this day, there's some challenges. That's okay. If there weren't challenges, there's no glory. There wasn't any opposition, there's no story, right? Whoa, that rhymed. There's no challenges, there's no glory, no opposition, no story. Whoa, that's like one of them podcast one-liners where everyone's like, whoa. I'll write that one down. Maybe that's a t-shirt. Let me send that to myself really quick. Start a chat. What is it? No challenges, no glory, no opposition. No story. I like that. That's a good one. We'll take it. All right, we're at the little box, so let me see. It's funny, I feel somewhat recovered and somewhat exhausted at the same time. So we're gonna do 3 deadlifts and then lock in core and see if we can run. Gosh, that reflection is pretty, but I don't want wet socks. No wet socks club. All right, tuck the core, shoulders rolled back, lean forward. I'm gonna focus on a very, very short stride. So rather than kind of lengthening things out to cover more distance, especially because the ground's also wet, I'm gonna focus on lock in, super mellow. We call this the throttle pace. It's basically like low and slow, like a slow cooker, okay? You're trying to find a pace that from a cardio perspective is floating just above a run. Now, you don't want to take such small steps that you're just wasting effort, okay? But the idea is to really lock in the right mechanics, the right form, control your breathing, re-engage your cardio, until, yeah, still a half. If I had to right now, if my son's life was on the line, or my daughter, I could go 13.1 right now. I'd be banged up afterwards. It'd be a bad long run, but I bet I can make it, right? That's the kind of I want to in this particular pace. What the heck is going on here with the gravel? I did not sign up for sand moguls. What the freak? This is like really challenging because my feet are slipping. It's wet. I'm stepping over crap, so it's messing with my gait. What the heck? Thanks for the extra training, I guess. What is this? What are we doing, y'all? It's actually just because there's a typhoon. Heavy winds, rains, pushed all the gravel around. It's just a drainage problem, really. Come on, lean forward. If we make it to the garden, that's around 3.5. Then we could talk about pushing past the garden. And we get closer and closer to 9. All right, but we gotta control our posture, our form. This is just hell. Why did we choose to run right now? Keep my legs under me, kick behind me. Breathe, tell yourself you got a lot of breath left. Plus, our next gooey packet hits at 4. Oh joy! It's like a reward. Is it? Yeah. I think I can. Come on. There we go. Gravel levels out. Hey, I didn't think we'd make it to the garden. It's like, shut up, Joe. You still gotta run all the way back home. You didn't think you'd make it this far, and you're still running farther away from home. You fool. You idiot. What are you doing, bud? Breathe. Come on. So one of the hard things I'm trying to do right now, super hard, actually not be milestone focused in this moment. Try to adopt a mindset of like, we get to 4.5 when we get to it. Otherwise, I'm gonna start racing and rushing. And we just can't have that. We won't make it. Somebody lost their big piece of metal. That's a bummer. One of the perks of waking up early, we've been at this thing for, God, how long? An hour? It's 5:30. and the course is still relatively empty, which means we can talk and get tripped up by variable height sand. Oh, frick. So our next walking to water break is that box up there. So I'm gonna try to make myself keep throttling forward. We're gonna push into the reserves. And the problem is, friends, there's no such thing as a perfect run, okay? Like, every run, just like this terrain, is variable. You come in with a different mindset, different physical challenges, different pre-existing conditions, injuries, energy levels. You set a target and you see if you can get yourself there, or even push yourself beyond. And I think we fail to give ourselves permission to navigate something that's variable. We feel this pressure to like lock in and push 100% of the time. And as we get older, we have to respect our bodies and the process. It doesn't mean we can't push. We also have to recognize gassed days, which is what I seem to be having today. Ohayou gozaimasu. Ohayou gozaimasu. Today's a gas day. Today's a hard day. We didn't think, you know, even just 5 minutes ago, that we would be able to run to this water spot. Just too much water in the air for us. So I think, the restart's gonna be real hard on this one. All right, this is what we signed up for, friends. Ooh, mud, very dangerous. Get in a squat, hold your squat, get your water. Come on, water. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that's a cruel trick. All right. Oh, that's a very cruel trick. Fine. All right, let's walk for a minute. Oh, shoot. The next one's way the heck over there. Where are we at on distance? Now we're gonna check. I think we're probably at 3.8. Oh, 3.97. Give yourself more credit, my man. So if we make it to 4.5, which is up near that water, that's a brilliant halfway point. That would put us on path for 9, which is the farthest we've run in quite some time. Ohayou gozaimasu. So let's keep progressing. Now, one thing I'm noticing, you can't see it because you're on my head, my left leg is walking straight and leading my pace. My right leg is kiltered off to the side and lagging behind, which means my hips are shifted. So one of the things I need to work on during the walk, let's push the other one forward, sink the other one back. So adjusting my walking pace. So what that means is something that's asymmetric, something sore. I wouldn't go so far to say injured. I'm just coming into this workout with some strain. So because of that, like, we have to modify our pace, our gait, our stride, our form, so that we don't damage. We can still keep progressing towards 4.5. And it's just something I learned in the beginning of my journey. When I'd run into stuff like that, I'd immediately stop. I'd go back home, and then we would rehab for a week, and then I'd inch out a little farther. And I'd progress, get injured, progress, get injured, until eventually I started figuring out how to build core and back. A lot of that stuff is actually a product of strain and fatigue, but also like asymmetric form. All right, so we're gonna do a GUI packet. We're gonna walk to that box and drink water. Then we're gonna see if we could snap back in to start the second chapter of this journey. But friends, I'm 300 pounds, 6'3". Running doesn't come easy to me. I don't expect it to come easy to you. That's why I track my days. Today's 458 of my fitness journey, but the program I've built to equip you to do a half marathon, even if you're overweight or have pre-existing injuries or health conditions, that program starts at my day 0, which gets to be your day 0. Compare yourself against the right version of me, right? Just like compare yourself against the right version of you. Don't expect to be able to jump back into fitness at the same level you were at in high school or college. You gotta take those small incremental steps, learn some new stuff, some new skills, and build the body you want in your 30s and 40s. All right, here we go. Oh, this one is particularly awful. I mean, they all are. Well, this one, no bueno. Let's keep breathing. Come on, keep breathing. Keep breathing. Hit the blackberry. Enjoy the sunrise. At least it's not hot yet. It's just wet and humid. All right. Ohayou gozaimasu. All right. So what I'm doing right now, pulling the impact out. I'm still squeezing my core. I'm still tilting forward. I'm still focusing on rolling heel to toe, kind of pushing out of it. And hopefully we're almost to our water, unless that one's busted too. And then we'll see if we can start plunking along back. Now when I walk a mile, the pace drops to like 20 minutes. And for some reason that extra 5 minutes, you feel it, you're like, oh man, I'm out here longer. But in order to get your form calibrated, your pace locked back in, like you're breathing, it's a tool, it's an instrument. And I normally try not to use it if jogging is within my capability, which right now it's arguably in there. But what I'm trying to do is actually throttle my pace right now, do some light jogs. All right, let's get some water. No! Why? Why would they be so cruel? All right. Do they shut them all off? Like, what's going on? Let's check our distance. I think we're probably close to like 4.25. So let's do some high knees while I check my distance. 4.28. So we only have 0.2 left. I'm gonna say let's walk it out. Let's keep our core, let's get our shoulders rolled back. And at 4.5, we'll try, and this is super hard, we'll try to treat it as a fresh return path. Now, this is totally normal and totally fine. And we don't have the luxury, I guess, of water on our trail, which has never happened. So like one of the things I have to legitimately do is be careful, because it doesn't look hot. It's not super hot compared to some days, but because of the typhoon, there's like an absurd amount of like water. Like you feel the water in the air, and you feel like the water leaving your body. It's really intense, because it's, compared to summer, it's actually kind of like cool out. So I don't really understand the physics of what I'm experiencing. But we're gonna walk to 4.5, and then we're gonna treat that as a restart and tell ourselves it's a new run, which isn't necessarily true. We've already walked out here 4.5 miles. There are already things in our system that are gassed. You can't just pretend that it's new. But we can, I don't want to say trick ourselves, we're not that dumb. We can approach it as a clean rep going back. You know how you work out in reps, or you do 3 sets of 12 reps, right? Treat this as the second set of the workout. Again, you stack the next set on top of the prior one. So it's not, it doesn't negate the 4.5 reps we did, but it puts a little bit of a break in it. And that way we could be proud. We made it out to our half. We're progressing back home. It's only 5:40, 4.5 miles, should take us an hour and 10 minutes. We should get back around 7:15. And I communicated with my wife, who is 100% supportive of my running. So she's happily waking up and serving the children breakfast with a smile. 4.43, we're very close. All right, so I still have this left leg leaning. So I'm working on rotating my form to get my right leg kind of sitting more forward, and my back leg sitting more back. I don't know, so maybe I got a longer leg. I'm just kidding. I probably don't have a longer leg. Oh, we're very close. Maybe that thing. We almost made it to Amazon. Amazon's down that way. We made it to Cannon. When we start getting out to 10 miles, which is impossible to think about. Frick, we're really gonna go out to 10 miles. We get to go a little farther. It's funny, now that I regularly train half marathons, I've dabbled with the concept of a full. In my head, I'm like, that's just too freaking far. Like, sure, I could put that within my capability. My body would radically change, as well as my mindset. I could absolutely train up to it. But also, 4.5, check it, forward, lean, take the momentum. Let's just try to break past a lot of this inertia. Shake it out. Whoa, shoot, don't shake it out. Holy crap. That was really dumb. Ow, walk it. What the frick? And we found an insecurity. Let's hit a deadlift. That was so dumb. Remember, you're an old man. Pro tip: when you're fatigued and dehydrated, do not, let's see if I can get my form, there we go. When you're dehydrated and fatigued, do not move your body in unexpected ways as an old man. Maybe move them in a normal, predictable way. I'd kind of like kick my legs out sideways while moving forward. Lost my core contraction, my posture, had a terribly pain in the right hip, butt region. Let's not do that again. How gozaimasu. Friends, so now let's get back to the friendly side. Oh crap, Obajan's walking over here. Let's get back to the other side. Frick. Not the training we want right now. Okay, better. But anyway, friends, we always got to respect our body as we train them to do challenging things. Shaking it out was a disrespect, I guess. Message heard, body. Thanks for that. And I will not do that again. Now, let me tell you right now, there's a lot of things not working well. Our core isn't fully flexed. It's a bit fatigued. We're dehydrated. I can feel it. But there's a strange inversion because the GUI packet. How gozaimasu. So the GUI packet, we have a little bit of an energy boost. Form-wise, I would describe it as rushed and impatient. How my runs start so truly we're approaching this as a second act. Maybe we should just follow pace and keep on progressing. But it is rough out there, friends. We're at 5 miles. Don't give yourself that much credit. We're at 4.5 miles in. Our goal today is a 9-mile run. So we just made it to our 4.5 mile halfway turnaround location. And we're literally running the line all the way back home. So we got to run along this river, out to a blue bridge, across the bridge, all the way down the river to like there, and then all the way back along a smaller river to our bicycle. But we got all kinds of fatigues, mindsets, lots of crap we're working through as we still question and reflect. Why are we here? What? Of all the things to do on a Monday morning, why have we chosen this? Surely we're mistaken. Oh, how gozaimasu. Surely we've made a terrible mistake. Yeah, we're not even at 5. It's funny, I feel super fatigued, super rushed, and I'm like, we haven't even made it half a mile yet. It's like, yeah, you bozo. Don't you remember? It takes you like 14 minutes to run a mile. Based on your calculations, it should take 7 minutes to run half a mile. Has it been 7 minutes? And my brain's like, hasn't it been 7 minutes? Hasn't it been 30 minutes since that halfway mark? Nope. Frick. It's alright. Hit a deadlift. You wanna know what mentally took me out? Oh, geez, hon. OG son's got a gnarly pace. I didn't feel like I could run past him. We also have a little bit of a limp. So we got throttle down, find our core, our back, our form. We have made irreversible decisions. What I mean by that is we woke up, we got ourselves out in this situation. So we have to find a way to get ourselves out of this situation, ideally safely, ideally not injured. So let's try to walk fast. Let's breathe, let's walk fast. Actually, now would be a really good time to change the battery because we're halfway. So let me do that while we're walking. Hopefully we won't lose the live. Or I could do that the next water break. We know that water's a lie. Let's change our battery. So we get a battery out. And that way we can just respect where our body's at right now. Now, friends, sometimes when I do this, wonderful, terrible things happen. So we'll see. It's never all daisies, that's for sure. Here's our magic Wi-Fi packet in a Ziploc. Twist. Squat. It's funny because when I was doing lunges and squats on Saturday, I was like, oh, something's a bit off. And being the idiot I am, I tried to lift straight through it. Now we're paying the price. That happens. Hey man, Anton Ego's always there. Always ready to mess you up. All right. So we're gonna open the hatch. We have to be very delicate with this entire procedure, otherwise we'll lose the live. If we lose the live, just keep refreshing, and I promise I'll try to reconnect with you in a different timeline. I'll find you across the multiverse, okay? Anyone else tired of the multiverse at this point? It's like, sure, Marvel, you made all these great stories. Mad props. You did it. But now, do we have to keep retelling them? Like, how many rotating hero shots do we need where the camera pans in slow motion in one direction while the fighting emotion goes in the opposite direction, with Captain America doing some kind of impossible barrel spin to punch someone in the face? Like, how many more shots of that do we need? I would say less. All right, so hopefully we're at steady state with the supplemental power. So I'm gonna pull out the battery and we'll see if it goes bing, 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 which means we failed. Here it goes, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, good. Pop in the extra battery. Battery's hot today. We're gonna give that like a good 20 seconds to equalize. So what I found is, even though, you know, there's a battery thing happening here, everything's giving it power. If I pull it too soon, if I get rushed with this, the Wi-Fi signal drops because of some like power surge, or the GoPro stops streaming for a second, and I gotta reboot everything. It's just bad and sad for everyone. All right, I'm gonna say 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Absolutely. But sometimes it's literally just a matter of continuing.